And then let him. Yes. So globalization plays a huge role in this. So many of you are working in international companies. Many of you will be working in international companies soon or in some time. So hopefully all these problems which we are reading in the news between the United States, Europe, and all over the world will get settled, and the international trade, international business markets will resume very well. Another course outcome is that you will have developed skills of effective communication and effectively demonstrate these skills in practical class projects. Well, there is no need to repeat that effective communication is valuable. You may be as smart as several Einsteins, but if you cannot communicate this to anyone, no one knows this. So a person really has to have good communication skills to be able to develop his or her career well. So you participating in class projects is one of the ways for you to keep developing your communication skills. You will know how to apply modern HRM approaches. You will understand how to how to make sure that your company participates in society, meaning pays attention to corporate social responsibility. See, any company, any organization is a part of the society, and any company, any organization really should pay attention to its effect, to how it affects the society at large. Here we're not talking only about employees. Of course, the employees in a company must be treated fairly. There must be justice and fairness in any organization. Only under this condition, employees work well, and which positively affects not only them, but their families as well, which spreads to the society at large. But on the top of this, any company, any organization must take steps toward being valuable and positive impact on the society. And the more of such companies we have in Ukraine, the better Ukraine will develop. Businesses, organizations must think about society and about its employees as well. Internationality will be solving different case studies, some based on Ukrainian realities, some based on international realities. So this is what internationality is about. Communication, you know, the rules of communication at our university. Usually emails are answered within 24 hours, and only university email can be used in communication, and the only languages of communication are Ukrainian and English. No other languages are allowed. And students' responsibilities and time commitment shows that you have read this, all the technical aspects, you know all these requirements, and the grades, positive that you know the level of grades. At our university, the minimum passing grade is 60% at the bachelor's level. And so anything between 60 and 69 is the minimum, but acceptable. So 60%, once again, is the minimum and acceptable. But I'm sure that if you do your work at the course, if you complete assignments, if you complete the projects, the midterm and final well, you will definitely be able to get much higher grades. So once again, do your work and you easily can get 100%. And the criteria for grading, know that you know this criteria. Let's skip this. I'm sure that you are waiting for the time when we start talking about the requirements in the course. So what are the requirements? What are the assignments that you will need to complete, that you will need to submit? Well, first of all, midterm and final, they take 50% of the entire evaluation. Midterm equals to 20% and final equals to 13%. And then there are also few other projects assignments that you will need to complete. Quiz 1 equals to 5%. A few minutes after what I'm saying right now, we will look in Moodle and you will see what exactly dates in Moodle, dates in the course. You will be taking all these assignments. The first thing that I would like to say is that both quizzes, you will be writing two quizzes. Quiz 1 is the first part of the semester of the course, meaning before the midterm, and quiz 2 after the midterm, and both quizzes are open. So you will not need to write them during the class session. Both quizzes are open already. They will close before the exam. So quiz 1 will be closed the day before the midterm exam. So you will need to remember to take it before the midterm exam. But once again, it is open already. Then you will need to put together a team project. And the team project is worth of 20% of your final grade. Here is the topic of the project. Think about artificial intelligence. Is it beneficial to use AI by students, or is it not beneficial? Think about 5 reasons why using AI by students is valuable and creates positive value, and think about 5 reasons why using AI by students is harmful. And you will need to present your findings in class. Time of presentation about 15 minutes. And you may choose any form of presentation except simple reading from the screen. So simple reading is not allowed. Any other form of presentation is allowed. Please remember that it is, Anna, let me finish and then I'll, please remember that it is a team project. So it is your responsibility to find team members for your team. There should be 2 to 4 students in a team. So it is not difficult to find the second student. So 2 people is a perfectly good team. Of course, it is easier when a team has, for example, 3 or 4 students, then more people can contribute, but it is harder to coordinate. So if you can coordinate easily, then definitely go for 3 or 4 students. If you don't mind additional work, but choose easier coordination, just find 1 more person for your team. So once again, 2 to 4 students in a team. I see this is a team project. Okay, let me first answer the question, Anna's question. Yes, Anna, what's your question?
Yes, I'm sorry. I've seen that on our course we had a place where we should write about our participation, but should we also download our presentation and where?
Yes, there must be, if it is not there yet, I'll add, let me put it this way. Let me start from the very beginning and then you'll get the answer to this question. Since it is the team project, several people need to work on this project. So 2, 3, or 4. And then you will need to present in class. But sometimes it may happen that not everyone can join the class. No, we have the war, so people may be distracted. Different things can take place unexpectedly. So there must be at least one person from the team who will present the project. But if you know that this will be happening, you will need to make sure so that it will be obvious that other people participated in the in putting together this project. And then uh, everyone who will participate will need to write in that slot which I provided, I participated in the project. But at least one proof that everyone participated, for example, a PowerPoint presentation or some sort of a video with all names of students must be loaded. And I will create a place to load this document. So it may be either Word document or PowerPoint or video or any other sort of work that you will have put together. Okay, and then each person in the team will write, I participated in the in presenting, or I did not participate in presenting. But if there is a name of the person on the work, on the Word document, on a PowerPoint, on a video, then it will be at least some proof that the person contributed to the team project. Because sometimes it happens that a person hasn't done anything and then simply writes, yes, I have participated in the project, although there is absolutely no proof that he or she has done so. Okay, so that's the answer to the question. So this is about team presentation, team project, and then there will also be an individual assignment. And for the individual assignment, you will need to solve a case study. So this assignment is not difficult. It is interesting. What you will need to do there, you will need to read a report on a 4 working day week, and you will need to really thoughtfully analyze the information provided. And as HR director, as for example, functional lead, as CEO of the company, you will need to decide whether your company will utilize a 4 working day week approach or you will not do this. But this is an individual assignment. You will write it by yourself when you have time for this, and you will need to load this assignment to Moodle by the date specified. So you will not need to do it in class. Complete this assignment when you have time for this. It should not take a lot of your time, but invest good thinking in it, and you will be fine for it. The student workload, we will have 17 class sessions as in a regular class, and 2 of them are exams, midterm and final. And please remember that 1 academic hour equals to 40 minutes. assignments format, academic dishonesty. So we will not spend time discussing academic dishonesty. I'm sure that you have heard enough about it in other classes. So basically, academic dishonesty is when you present someone else's work as your own. Before the biggest contributor to academic dishonesty was a simple copy and paste approach, simply. And it was easy to find out whether a student has copied and pasted in work, quite simple to notice. Now, many people use artificial intelligence and see this is why I asked you in Teams in Teams to work on this question about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is valuable when it is utilized properly, when it is utilized where it should be utilized. By very often, what happens is that people simply become absolutely dependent on AI. Basically, people stop being able to think by yourself in extreme cases. So, see, AI is good when AI is, your assistant. Is when you are in charge and you simply give AI the request, find this information, but then you yourself analyze everything, you synthesize everything by yourself, and you come up with really great ideas based on all of this information. So that's fine. It is, for example, as a CEO of the company asks his or her assistant to bring to work and to prepare information on, for example, this competitor and this competitor and this competitor, and then CEO analyzes all of this information. So so that's absolutely fine and proper. But when it happens that a person lets AI make the decisions, when a person lets AI create the conclusions that he or she simply, takes without any questioning. So that's how people, become slaves of AI. And so that's definitely is not good. People, human beings, must stay and must remain the in charge. And so that's basically the most important thing here. And when we, even in a couple of last week, there was a meeting with our dean's representatives about the programs for checking plagiarism and AI. See what AI is doing. It is, once again, it is when a human being is reading someone's work, it is quite easy to notice whether it is a student, it was a student who wrote, his or her work, or it was AI. See, AI, there is simply text, plain text, goes, no references. See, AI is smart. So since last year, when many universities started paying attention and when many universities started pointing out that one of the signs that some work was written by AI was that there was no any references. See, there is plain text. It may be 50 pages of just plain text without any reference, without any citation. And for any AI check, it is one of indications that, once again, it was AI who put together this content. But see, AI became smart, and now what these engines do now, they simply create references, create citations which do not exist. See, for example, a professor opens someone's work on the screen, and from the first glance, it looks okay. There are some citations on the page, and from first glance, without before the professor starts reading the text, once again, visually, it looks okay. But then it turns out that these citations and these references simply do not exist. AI simply created non-existing references. And of course, when professors start checking one reference and another reference and start noticing that these references simply do not exist. So another indication that it was AI which put together someone's work. So I understand that, and everyone understands that, students are busy and they try to, get some help with putting together assignments, with putting together their works. But once again, it is one thing to get simply someone's assistant, like AI assistant, but it is another thing when you become dependent on some AI who thinks instead of you. So this is not good. So once again, stay masters of your own career, stay masters of your own development, and that's really important. Okay, now let's turn to our schedule. So today we are having an introduction to the course, which is we are doing right now, introduction to the HRM field. By the way, the textbook, it's loaded in Moodle, good textbook, Human Resource Management, by the University of Minnesota Open Access Library. When you have, see, with the textbooks, each topic that we will be discussing in Moodle, you will find references to some book chapters, but also different videos, different articles, and different other types of work. If you have time, please read, each chapter from the beginning till the end. If you don't have time, at least look through each chapter to get, an idea of the main developments in the chapter. At least to please get some ideas of the main trends of thinking in the chapter. So once again, I do not require you to read the entire textbook if you don't have time. If you do, please do this. But if you don't, at least skim through chapters to get some understanding. Chapters, they reinforce the knowledge that you already have. So look through chapters as I have advised right now. Okay, then April 4, HRM in modern time. April 10, talent acquisition recruitment, hugely important discussion. See, with recruitment, a company, suppose a company has a vacancy. See, when people are looking for a job, when you start looking for a job, there is an feeling, there is an understanding that it is only you who need the job. And the company simply keeps the gate closed, and you are the one who is really trying to knock at the door for you to get hired in the company. The truth is that the company also wants to hire someone. So it is not that only you want to be hired, but the company also wants to hire a good, reliable employee. See, there is a certain time when a vacancy, when an open position can stay open. So for different levels of positions, the time is different. But of course, no one will allow an HR department to keep positions open for a long time. Company needs a person on every position to work, to create value. Otherwise, these positions will not exist. Which means that HR department is also under pressure to fill in the vacancy. So it is not that you are the one who's under pressure to find a job. A company and HR department is also under pressure to find someone good for this position. So if you manage to persuade the HR people that you are such a person, they will be really happy to do this, to hire you. I see HR department has very many things to do. And recruitment selection, it is only one part of very many other responsibilities of the department. So as soon as the department has hired someone, has closed the vacancy, then at least there is at least more time to do some other job. Once again, which means that when you are trying to get a job, think on this process as on the process when everyone is trying to is really trying hard for this particular position to be filled in. So do a job of presenting yourself as a good future employee, and the company will be happy to hire you. And then HR department will do something else, very many other things. And so when I'm saying that present yourself as the good employees that the company will be happy about, so always remember that it is not only your professional level that the company is looking at. It happens quite often that a person who is adequate and sometimes even more than adequate professional level is not hired, but someone with less education and experience is hired. What makes the difference is, character, emotional intelligence, whether the person has shown themselves in the previous experiences as the person, as more or less ethical person that the company, other employees in the company will be able to work with. So when you meet with HR people, do not only try to impress them with what you know, but also try to impress them with who you are as a person, that you can be relied on, that you respect other people's boundaries, that you know how to deal with other people, and so on. So HR department will be really happy to hire you. So I've said already a few words about compensation and benefits, training and development, effective ways of working. And here is April 28. And this is your midterm exam. For midterm, you will get 20% of your total grade, and your group project presentation is the next day with 20% here as well. And then May 2, international HRM, individual assignment, solving case study is due May 8. This case study is will be opened right after the midterm exam, but you can already start reading it and start analyzing it as well. And then quiz 2, 5%, and the final exam, which is worth of 13%. And the what is included in the midterm exam is all the topics which you have studied from the beginning of the course until midterm, and final includes topics studied after the midterm exam. I do not include topics which are studied before the midterm, so anything between midterm and the final date is the potential content for the final exam. And the recommended textbooks, I already said a few words about University of Minnesota publishing open textbook library textbook, and there are optional resources. You're welcome to study them as well. So this is what I wanted to tell you about the syllabus. And so let me open now. Here is our Moodle. Okay, here is the Moodle page. Well, I'm sure that you know how to find it. You're here, so you know how to find it. And so here is general section. I will put all the other links for joining the class right here. After today's class, I will delete April 3 class link, and I will put April 4 class link. So all the class links, once again, will be right there for you to easily find it. Here is the description of the team project, which I have already discussed with you. Here is the description of individual assignment. Let me open it. Here is individual assignment. Thoughtfully analyze this article from HR Daily. And here is the article provided. And you will need to answer several questions. What are the pluses of a 4 days week approach? What are the weaknesses? And what are the conditions that need to be present in a company for the 4 days week approach to be successful? This is your individual assignment. You can already start working at your individual assignment, and there is, let me open this syllabus once again. There is a description of the number of pages which I would like you to write there. Okay. Syllabus. Just few pages. I mean, it's not there. Team project. It's right here. Not here, but I will add this information. Just few pages which I'm looking for you in while you are answering this question. So the most important thing is that you really thoughtfully analyze the case study provided. Here I am not trying. I don't want you to write, the entire one more bachelor qualification work. Simply think about this case study and provide really thoughtful answers. So it pretty much doesn't matter how much space you will take. You may take one paragraph, you may take one page, but if you express your thinking well, and if your explanation really covers all the aspects of this answer, once again, it may be any number of sentences, paragraphs, pages. If you write 3 sentences and really answer this question, I will be fine with this. Here is course textbook, and here is our topic 1, April 3, modern environment in HRM presentation. We'll be talking about it today. Lecture on YouTube. There are some pre-recorded lectures. I will be I will be adding our recorded lecture to these ones as well. And please pay attention to this assignment for you to think about one. It says one because this is the first topic. So this is why it says for you to think about one. For you to think about assignment, this assignment does not require you to get a grade. So you are not required to send your answers anywhere. You're not required to submit your answers anywhere. These assignments are here simply to help you understand the topic better. Sometimes answers are provided for these assignments, sometimes not. What you need to do is think about these questions, try to answer them by themselves. You may discuss them with other students in the course, but once again, you're not required to submit them anywhere. Well, let's open for you to think about assignment 1. Here is we have. Think how the megatrends which affect HR also affect you. What do you need to do to meet these challenges? And so don't send your answers anywhere, but think about this question. If you do, it will help you to understand the material better and to be able to simply develop yourself and prepare yourself for the job market better. There is article on the fourth industrial revolution here. There is a pre-recorded YouTube lecture, and here is for you to think about 1, 2. So it means it is the second assignment for you to think about in the first section. So let's open it. And the question here is, after you have read the article on the fourth industrial revolution and studied the skills needed for the job market now, what does it mean for you? What steps do you need to take to make sure that you are ready and well prepared for the challenge? Once again, think about this question. It will help you. So this is topic 1. Tomorrow's topic, April 4th, we'll be talking about introduction to HRM field. We will be discussing different articles from a couple of articles from Harvard Business Review. We will be asking the question how changes in HR affect you personally. Then topic 3, April 10th, lots of discussion about recruitment, how to make sure that the recruiter in a headhunting agency, for example, in a recruitment agency or recruitment manager in a company, really pays attention to you. Also, we will be talking about how to discuss, for example, the salary during the final stages of the process. So we will be discussing all these questions when we talk about recruitment and selection, recruitment in the company. Here is for you to think about assignment 3.1, 3 because it is the third lecture, and 1 because it is the first assignment of this kind in this lecture. Here, for example, there is assignment 3.2, meaning it is for you to think about assignment in the third lecture, and it is the second one. Here, this assignment is think about your future company that you want to have or to work at. What type of recruitment, external or internal, would you recommend? And what EVP, we'll talk about EVP, would you use in your company? Once again, don't send your answer anywhere, but thinking about it will help you. Then Harvard Business Review article about digital recruitment platforms, candidate selection process. And here is your quiz one. Quiz one needs to be completed by Friday, April 11th, the end of the day. So this quiz is already open. So what you will need to do is you may open it and solve it when you have time and after you have acquired the sufficient knowledge. But once again, you will not be asked to write the quiz during the class session. You will have opportunity to write it when you can. There is candidate selection in HR, YouTube lectures, a very good TED video about candidate selection in HR, questions often used by companies during the candidates selection process, how to negotiate salary during the final interview. Really great short, just 3 minutes video. And for you to think about for one. On April 17th, during our topic 5, we will be talking about compensation and benefits system in HR. Once again, compensation benefits is any remuneration that an employee has, financial and non-financial. Videos, how to negotiate salary, how to count a salary proposal after a job offer, also very important video. See, a discussion of a salary is obviously crucial. So people get jobs for different reasons, but good salary is one of the important ones. So you will need to know how to handle these questions. On April 18, during our lecture 6, we will be discussing training and development. See, what happens with training and development is the following. Companies know that training is necessary, that development of employees is necessary, and that's why many companies are willing to invest into this direction. But very often it happens that companies do it just following their most recent fashion. For example, there is a really well-known trainer on the market, and everyone wants to have this trainer conduct, some trainings. It is not a good approach because this, as a company, very often a company pays huge money but does not get a good return on investment. Why? Because very often such trainers, they simply repeat the same thing in different companies. But a good training is when it is custom made, when it is tailored to particular company, to particular organization. So we will be discussing this topic on April 18th. And then April 19th, HR strategy and planning. Very important discussion. See, any company, any organization has a strategy. A company and organization has a goal, and it has a plan of getting there, a strategy. And HR strategy must support the strategy of the company. HR strategy must, must be like one of the foundations for the company's strategy. How to do it? We will be discussing this during our April 19th meeting, and here is our April 28th midterm exam. So currently, we don't know the exact time of the exam. The only known information for sure is that it's on April 28. I suppose that probably the midterm will take place during our usual time of our class, so sometime between 3 and 5, but right now I don't know the exact information. What I already am able to tell you that the length of the exam is about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I already have loaded the midterm there. It is there, it is simply not open. So the midterm will consist of 20 to 25 questions. And if you prepare for the midterm, you will be able to easily answer it, answer all the questions within the time available. We will have a preparation for the midterm sometime before the day, the class session before the midterm exam. So during our April 19th class session, we will be discussing the potential questions of the midterm exam. We will not be discussing the real actual questions that you will note, that you will encounter during the midterm, but the questions which we will be discussing during our April 19th session will be similar or like the questions in your midterm exam. So please pay attention to April 19th meeting. Those who will not be able to join the April 19th meeting, what they will need to do is they will need to really pay attention to the recorded video of the class. Because once again, really a solid preparation for the midterm exam will take place the class session before the midterm. And here is your place to for the team presentation. You will need to write here, indicate that you presented or you did not present. And I will also, and I will ask at least one representative of every team to either email or submit in the slot. Yes, it's better to email me the work of this project. It may be either a Word document, it may be once again PowerPoint, video, any other type of project completion that you may think about. May 2 international HRM, and then solving case studies. Here is where you will need to load your answers to the case study. Once again, it will be open right after the midterm exam, and it will stay open until May 8th. So please take your time when you have time to submit this case study right there. And for May 8th, we will also be solving several other case studies. I already loaded answers for the case studies as well, not for the first one, but for all others that we will be solving. Employee retention, this topic we will be discussing on May 9. Very important. What is retention? Retention is when employees stay in the company. It may happen, and it actually happens quite often, that employees leave the company very often, that many employees leave. And this rate of employees leaving the company, it may be less than 10% is considered a good percentage. Less than 10%, before it used to be less than 5%. Now this percentage has been increased. but if the percentage of the rate with which employees actually willfully leave the company is less than 10%, this organization is considered to be a stable one. Unfortunately, many companies have this rate significantly higher. Many companies have it 20, 30%. Of course, such companies are not stable. They constantly lose their human capital. They need to replace it. And what it means what does it mean for the company that the retention rate is low? It means that a company has to spend money for hiring new employees. It is expensive. Hiring process is expensive, so the company would be a smart company if it takes steps to retain its employees. So this is May 9, and then performance assessment on May 15th, and here is quiz 2. Once again, the quiz will be open right after the midterm exam, and you may take it any time when you wish until May 15th. And then presentations, videos, performance management on May 16th, change management, and here is your final exam on May 30th. So once again, the exact day is known, May 30th. No exact timing of the day is known, but the day, May 30th, is known. So the length of the exam is about 75 minutes. There will be about 20 questions during the final exam. There will be a good preparation for the final exam, the session previous to the final exam, which means that during the May 23 session, we will be getting ready for the final exam. So those students who will not be able to join the class session on May 23, they will simply need to attentively watch the recorded video of the class, and it will help them prepare for the final exam. See, that's it. As you see, there are not very many requirements, just quiz 1 and quiz 2, which you can take anywhere, anytime at your convenience. There is one personal assignment, once again, which you can take at your convenience when you have time for this, one team project, and final and mid-term. So that's it. So the workload is not heavy. It is quite manageable, but if you pay attention in class, you will learn many useful things, which will help you in your career. Okay, let's see whether you have some questions. Okay, it seems like there are no questions yet, or yes, Anna.
Yes, the distance group asks us, will they have like a timetable for consultations with you?
They already have. So the distance group, whomever from the distance group you have communicated with, they were not attentive at looking at Moodle. So
Maybe.
please tell them that there are links for every consultation, and they have been in Moodle for a long time already. So all the links, maybe I will write them a message. All the links are posted at the very bottom of the Moodle page. You see, your link is on the top, and their links for consultations, since there are so many of them, they are posted at the very bottom of the page. So yes, I will, good Anna, that you raised this question. I will send all of them a note to look for the links at the bottom of the page. Good that you said it. Okay, other questions? Okay, if there are no questions, let me continue with the following. Okay, yeah, here. Here is a very interesting paragraph. The golden words of a professor. Well, someone, I noticed this piece of work some time ago, and I really liked it, and so I decided to attract your attention to this as well. So I don't know who wrote it, but what this person wrote is really valuable. So I decided that it is a good beginning of our class. So the golden words of a professor which changed my life. So someone said, once again, I don't know who the person is, but what the person is saying here is really good. So this is what this person is telling. A professor at a prestigious university intending to teach students a valuable lesson for life wrote a large number 1 on the board and explained, 1 is your humanity. And here in Ukrainian, I wrote людяність because I know sometimes people do not understand the word humanity. So humanity is what a human being you are, basically, how you deal with others, whether you help others, whether you respect others, whether you consider others as equal to you, as respectable, valuable human beings, how you treat the country, whether you love the country, and so on. So all of this is about humanity of a person. So this particular individual rights. 1 is your humanity, the most necessary trait in life. Then the professor wrote 0 next to the number 1 and said, and these are your achievements, which will make you 10 times better because of humanity. Another 0 is experience, with which you will become 100 times better. And so that professor kept adding zeros, 0 after 0, success, love, and so on and so on. Each added 0 ennobles a person 10 times. And then suddenly that professor erased the number 1 that stood at the beginning of a series of numbers. And then insignificant zeros remained on the board. And the professor continued, but if you do not have humanity, everything else is not worth anything. See, I think that this message has really good sense. And this message really is meaningful. So before a person, has great achievements, and before the person has great, successes in life, the person, first of all, needs to be a decent human being. Meaning, the person needs to, be honest as much as possible. The person needs to value ethics. The person needs to, value honesty, transparency in business. The person needs to respect others. The person needs to think about the country and so many other things. So all other factors, achievements, success, experiences, and so on, they are very valuable. But the most important is what type of a human being you are, what type of citizens in your country you are, whether you think about others and about yourself, of course, but whether you think about others as well, or you are the only person that you are concerned about and no one else, and do not care about anyone else. So all of these things are important to think. And of course, it relates to HR. HR deals with people, but it also relates to any other position in the company. And so just wanted to start our discussion with this piece, because once again, I think it is really good. Okay, any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, let's say a few words about the foundations of human resource management. So when we say HRM, so what is the definition? HRM are, let me minimize this. So HRM are all planned and controlled activities of an organization to build and maintain the relations between employees and the organization in order to meet both business objectives and employee expectations. HRM is about relationships between employees and the organization. And when we look at this definition, see all planned and controlled activities of an organization to build relationships between employees and the company. A very important words here are planned and controlled activities. It means that HRM is not spontaneous. HRM it's not like HR manager wakes up in the morning and says, "Oh, let me do this," or "Let me do this." No, HRM is planned. HRM is controlled. Everything that HR department in a company does is very well thought through. Any activity of HR department is and should be evaluated and really thought through. So please remember this definition. What HR does in the company is not simply activities, but they are planned and controlled activities. And a very important another word here is these activities should meet both business objectives and employee expectations. See, employees will not start really caring about the company if their own needs are not met. If see, there are two types of outcomes that exist. There is an outcome for the company, which is, for example, increasing the market share, improving the quality of products, and so on and so on. And there are also outcomes which employees want to meet, and they are, they want to have career growth. They want to have, they want to feel valuable and treated well in the company. They want to be fairly treated in the company. They want to, as I said, have good career development. They want to have at least acceptable work-life balance. So all of these are outcomes that employees want to receive. And HR, as much as it can, needs to work toward making sure that both objectives, the objectives of the company and the objectives of employees, are met. If the company thinks only about its objectives, the employees will not go out of their way to do the best possible job for their company. So it's important to remember this. And see, when we say human resource management, so it implies that employees in the company is a resource. What is a resource? A resource is an asset that is used to produce another asset. For example, materials, money, and human resources are people in the company. There are several types of resources. There are financial resources, hard resources, natural resources, human resources. And to manage any resource well, it is necessary to take into consideration the main features of this resource. For example, if we take financial resources, what are the distinguishing features of financial resources? Under which conditions financial resources work best of all? The same hard resources, equipment. Under which conditions equipment works best of all? Natural resources, the same. And then human resources. Under which conditions employees, human beings in a company, in an organization work best of all? To answer these questions, we need to think back to our organizational behavior class, the OB class, which you take what are the conditions under which employees work better. So when you own your companies, when you are department heads, functional leaders, you will need to think about it. If you don't, simply employees will not work to the best of their abilities. There are several mega trends which determine human resource management. The first one is innovations. See, companies must invent new products now, and 80% of revenue of companies is usually done by products which were invented less than 3 years ago. This is why innovation is a huge megatrend, which really determines the business, how the business is developed. So what does it mean for HRM? What does it mean for a company? It means that employees drive innovations. It means that a company needs to invest into development of employees. If the company wants to save money on employee development, simply they will not be able to drive innovation, and the company will be getting worse and worse in its performance. No good. Another megatrend which determines human resource management is demographic changes. What is demographic changes? The number of people who are older than 65 is increasing, while the number of those who are younger is decreasing. In fact, the rule is, 1% drop in a year. So what does it mean for HR? Older people are retiring and will retire, and it is necessary to replace them. Demographic changes lead to talent shortage. It means that there is simply not enough of qualified people available. Suppose you are an HR manager, or you are the top manager of a company. So for your company to develop, you need more people, but there are not enough of qualified people available. And this is the effect of this demographic changes megatrend. So what does it mean for HR? What does it mean for the company? It means that it is necessary to invest into all employees in your company. Doesn't matter how old the employee is, invest in the employee. Make this employee, help this employee stay on the urge of development in his or her area. Help this employee be his or her best professionally, and you will be able to make sure that people stay in your company, and this megatrend does not affect your company really negatively. Another megatrend is globalization. See, today we have global markets, and it's obvious nations produce products to export them. Even a small company acts globally because its customers are beyond its country's borders. And so what does this globalization megatrend mean for HR? There are globally diverse teams in companies. For example, now you are students at the university, and it is really desirous for you to get some international experience. Many students, take at least a class in other universities abroad, at least online. Some students go to universities in other countries. Before, that was not necessary at all, because the effect of globalization was small. But now it is really hard. So always remember that in your next company where you will be working, you may be working with people from different companies, from different cultures, from different countries. And first of all, of course, you will need to know how to deal with them. So this is number one. Another megatrend which affects human resource management is so-called user-generated content. See, when internet first appeared, Usually organizations produced websites and loaded content there, and others simply read that information, and it looked like this here. But the situation has changed, and now we all produce content. LinkedIn, Twitter, blogs, Wikipedia, any. So now people produce their content, and now the way how the content is produced looks like this, and it really affects how people are hired, and we'll be talking about it. And another megatrend which determines HR is artificial intelligence. The increasing penetration of AI into everyday workplaces has led to proliferation of scenarios about the future of work, ranging from utopic visions of shorter work weeks and higher incomes to declining wages and practical enslavement of individuals to algorithms. Although concerns about the impact of new technological developments on jobs have existed since Middle Ages, the emergence of these developments since the beginning of the 21st century adds really new urgency to the debate. In the past, they tended to affect, one industry at a time. And this enabled people to change to new jobs, as the previous ones were eliminated. But now the ability of displaced employees to find new jobs is cast in doubt by the fact that new developments are simultaneously disrupting almost every sector. And another megatrend which determines HR is, in human resource management, is value change. A value is what is important for a person. Such an exercise. Take a sheet of paper and write 3 things which are most important for you. And then ask your parents or grandparents to write 3 things which are important for them. And you will see the difference. So the HRM challenges related to these 6 megatrends are support lifelong learning. In a company, employees must be developed if the company wants to stay on the market, basically. So the company must invest into training, into development. So once again, it doesn't matter how young or how old the employees. This particular employee has been hired, so the company decided that this person is good enough to be an employee in the company. So now the company should make sure that this employee creates great value for the company, and this is possible only if investments in terms of trainings, development are done. And of course, support diversity. Customers are global, so companies need to be global. Retain and shape knowledge. Help your employees do this. Create attractive work conditions. It seems this is very important now for the companies, since there is a shortage in the labor market, not enough people to do work. Now, very often it is the person who chooses the company, not the company chooses among very many applicants, which means that creating attractive working conditions, the working conditions that are attractive for potential employees. It's very important now. Of course, use latest technologies, retain the best talent, acquire the right talent, and give the right rewards. Simply, if people are not paid well, if people do not get good non-financial remuneration, meaning there are no additional perks that a company provides. For example, free lunches, or of course, a company car, or if there are, some business trips, if there is good career development. So all of these are are types of non-financial remuneration. So if the company does not provide this, and some other company on the market does, so, and if the employee does not have very strong effective commitment, so the employee will move to another company. So why to lose a valuable employee? So for company, it is necessary to learn the lesson and to make sure that employees really see the company as a good source, and they will see that it is a win-win situation. The company is trying to get its outcomes met, and employees are trying to have their outcomes met, and everyone's outcomes are met to some degree. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you in terms of introduction to the course. Do you have questions? No. Okay, so let me share the screen once again. So for today, I'd like you to do the following. Please take a look at the syllabus. Once again, if you have questions, please ask tomorrow. Take a look at the textbook. Once again, good textbook. It's a large one, it's a thick one, discussion of many topics. Once again, I'd like to remind you, if you don't have time to read the entire textbook, that's fine. At least look, skim the chapters and pay attention to lectures, and this will be fine. And think about this assignment for you to think about. One, read the article on Fourth Industrial Revolution, for you to think about. Two, and we will see each other for the class tomorrow, and I will load the link for tomorrow's session on the same place on the top of the Moodle page. Okay, and now I'd like to wish you a good time of the day whenever you are, if you are in Ukraine. So have a good evening, a safe evening. If you are in other countries, have a good part of the day, and we will see each other tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you for the lecture.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.